cloak, yay har and all that. Oh, there we are. That's nice. Hell yeah. Let's get the tablet off. So I'm doing one stream only tonight, and that's going to be YouTube. So for all of those that have just jumped on, that's all we're doing. How fabulous is that? Right. Clatter, clatter, clonk, clonk. Let me just move things around a second because I'm early. Good like that as well, eh? There we go. Right. Move tins, move boxes. Let me put YouTube on. Ah, dear me. Love it. Right, YouTube. Hello, where am I? There's me. Let's click a button. Let's have a look. Does it say I'm live? Does it? Oh, it does, yes. Hello. Hi. Let me see. Let's get the comments up. There we go. Dum dum dum. Trudy. Good evening, my sweet. Hopefully you're well. Hope you've had a good day. I've had a very interesting day today. I'm only going live. Hi, Jan. On YouTube only tonight. There is no Facebook. Hi, Catherine. Katika. Hello. Hi. So if this goes kaput, then there's nothing we can do. So hopefully, all being well, this stream stays good. If this stream, hi Nettie, if this, I will be just doing YouTube. Because that's what seems to be the problem. So it's a test tonight. So I'm only doing YouTube tonight, and obviously I will put the links up for people to re-watch and all the rest of it. Hi Cheryl. Hi Helen. Hello. I was just saying there's no no Facebook tonight. It's just YouTube. So I'm just going to see if that's going to give me a better stream basically. Hi Sarah. Hello. So let's have a look. Oh no, there we go. Sorted. Let me just come down a little, see if that helps things. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. There we are. So after Amanda yesterday with her gorgeousness, I've decided, hello, Sissy Pooh's just talking to you, and look at that, here she is. Hello, Megan Mo, love you. After your adventurous beautifulness, you've got me all textured up, young lady. So I'm going to be doing some textured paste with a few bits and pieces. So I'm just playing around tonight with rock candy, snowflakes, some of these, obviously the foundry waxes, some distresses, perfect pearls. We're just playing. So tonight's not a make, it's just a play. I was that inspired by Amanda yesterday with her beautiful journal page that I just want to play. So hello. So there we go. So Mama X, hi. Ruth, hi. Martine, hi. Hello, Chris and everybody. Well, hello. So yeah, thumbs up. I've got probably 30 seconds or something. So thumbs up for wherever you're watching. There's only going to be one place because it's only YouTube tonight. So moving forward, if this stream goes well, I will only be doing YouTubes with a link then when I've finished do the photos and upload for you to come back and come and say hello on the YouTube. So there we go. So we'll see what it's like anyway. So as I said yesterday, now if you've missed it, go and get yourself onto Amanda's page because her journal page was stunning, absolutely stunning. And it, like I say, it's inspired me. So I mean, I've got a bit of everything. Hi, Sarah. So on here, we've got rock candy. I've got textured paste. I've got the black opaque. All of these things I'm using are available on Tracy Evans's website, all in stock. And you know how super fast she is. I had a conversation with her on the one day, and the following day, before 24 hours, it was here. Hi, Sylv. So I'm just not even saying. She's got a portal. And it goes through Royal Mail into your house. That's all I can say because I've never known a service like it. So everything I've used, as in the textured stuff. So when I'm using it, I'm going to say you can get this from Tracy's store. Obviously, there's other places that stock it, so you go and shop wherever you like. So this isn't a plug for anything in particular. This is just me having a bit of fun with you guys. What is rock candy? Oh, fabulous. Rock candy. She is super fast. Rock candy is literally a glitter that looks like sugar. It's the best way that I can describe it. It is absolutely lush. And You can stick it on with glazes, paste, glossy accents, glue, all sorts of stuff. But no matter what you put it on, I mean, I've got alcohol inks on here. So I'm going to do a couple of different techniques tonight just to show you some different things, and then obviously add all different nonsense on and play around. But this has got rock candy on, it's got snowflakes on, it's got the waxes, it's got textured paste, it's got the black opaque on. The black opaque has then had rock candy on, so with all the twinkliness, you know, so it's like you can just do an overload. But to be fair, you know, if you put a nice sentiment on that, hi Marie. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. If you just put a sentiment on that, I'd love it. I'd just be doing this all the time. So I know some of you guys stroke your papers. I know some of you guys, you know, will make something and it's all like, hi, Michael. Hello, sweetie. You know, and it's all about, you know, being sensual, touchy, feely, and all the rest of it. But like this one, for instance, was just a little bit of oxide. And then you can just roughly see, I've just done a couple of different variations. I actually tried to stamp with the foundry wax, and yes, it did work. And then obviously I've done some embossing and then used the perfect pearls. Hi, Rose. So, you know, it's like this one, for instance, this is everything bar the kitchen sink, from Perta to oxide sprays to waxes to textured paste. But depending on the effect you want, I actually like how that's come out. And then this one was just thinking, does rock candy only come in white? You can actually colour it with alcohol inks. So that's you know, you can colour it, spritz it, do whatever you like with it. But I'll show you. I'll even maybe put a few. To be fair, that is rock candy and snowflakes on here, and I have put alcohol inks on with different colours, and then I've squirted it. I'll show you. I'll show you. So this is just sort of a play around, basically. Amanda inspired us yesterday with her beautiful tutorial. And I used some crackle paste this time, and I've just put little bits in, and you might just be able to see the crackle just around here and down where I've put it. Hello from Cheshire. Hello, Susan. Cheshire. Fabulous. But yeah, so it's depending on the effect you want to do. If you want to do grungy, if you want to do light, bright, airy, go for it. And then this was just the perfect pearls. Just done. I've just done a little bit of writing onto what card, Lisa? All this at the minute is super smooth. Apart from that's actually Tim's tags. In fact, actually, it's Dinah Weekly's pack of Dinah Wakely pack of 50 tags in the white. Those ones are. That's one of Timmy's, and then the rest of this is super smooth. Okay, so this is super smooth, coloured. One of the coloured stock, and then all I've done on here is put oxides on, and then I've put the perfect pearls on that one, and that gives a lovely effect. Again, very much Christmassy, seasonal, whatever you want to do. So this is 300 GSM super smooth. I've also got, so that's A5, and there's two A6s. Two A6s make A5. All them together will make an A4. Yay! Just thought I'd put that one out there for you, just in case. So if you wanted to colour these, you can put in your alcohol inks. You can mix it with pastes and different. I love having it. Honestly, that's all. I'm not creating anything. I'm just making a mess. That's the best way I can say it. Earlier on, I put some textured paste down on some stencils. That's nice and dry now. So as I'm going through things and letting things dry, I've got something to play around with you guys as well. The stencils of choice today are obviously Tim Holtz. So I have got now, this has got 0.19, so I'm just gonna double A. Yep, 0.19. Yeah, and we've got 56 and 115. So it's one of them. There's a lot of different styles out there. Use what you've got. You know, whether it's whatever brand, we won't go branding it, but that's what I'm using. I'm just showing you what I'm using, okay? So I'm going to be using some of the rock candy, as I've said. I've also got the snowflakes. Snowflakes are gorgeous because, as it says here, glitter and microflakes, custom of twinkle. And it is indeed. So these are lush, delicious gorgeousness in a pot. They really do give off glitter, shimmer and everything else by the kitchen sink. Now, while everything was in stock with Tracy, I also purchased some of the twinkle paste and some of the black opaque. Both gorgeous. That's got a flick of glitter through, as it's called, twinkle. So again, you can put that down and add these onto it to really go twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. Yeah. The black opaque is exactly that. It's gorgeous. It's down, it's black, it's matte, it's beautiful. I'll say hello to anybody I've missed. It's one of them. But here, you can add, while it's still wet, you can add rock candy, snowflake, whatever, basically. You can put all sorts down on it. So today, it's just literally apply. And it's whatever sort of ticks your boxes, really. Whether you want to use glossy accents, whether you want to use resists, textured paste, glazes, whatever, you know. So you do you sort of thing. So all I'm going to do is just show a couple of different techniques, similar to let's just get that to what's it, there we go, similar to what Amanda showed us, but just differently, that's all. And it's just because I was just so inspired with that page. It was absolutely deliciousness, absolute deliciousness. So I'm going to put them over here while I'm waiting. I'm going to start on the large one. So this is the A5 300 GSM Pink Frog Super Smooth. Just so you know what I have got some oxide spray salvage patina. I've also got a re-inker salvage patina. I've then got the 4 foundry waxes, and I don't know what I'm going to use yet, but I've given them all a good shake. I can hear the balls rattling around, so we're all good. I've just got the patina mix on the Perfect Pearls. And then colour-wise, because I'm going to stick with sort of a grunge feel, maybe, I've got lumberjack plaid, rusty hinge, walnut stain and aged mahogany. So, you know, with that, with salvage patina, it's sort of a nice rusty, grungy mess. I might even, in fact, I'm going to throw a bit of peel paint in, just because I can. And then again, I might even throw in some yellow. I don't know. It's one of them. The black border scared Bessie. Really? Oh, wow. Well, you see, talking of borders and goodness and loveliness and everything else, let me go through me wriggly-doodah. There we go. So, happy post. I'm blaming Amanda totally for this. $3.99 electric edges, borders. I could kill her, basically. So I get Bessie saying a thing, you know, it's one of them. But they are lush. Now, Amanda used the larger one there. Am I going to use anything? Maybe on something smaller, yes. But it's there to play with. And what I'm probably going to do is maybe do some embossing or some glazing or something with it. But they are absolutely gorgeous. The detail on these are just like to die for. So even if you just want to pop in a little tag or something, you know, it will literally do the whole line down or line across or up down sort of thing. Again, wild your oyster with these sort of things. So let's put some colour down. Let's actually start now. Aged mahogany I love, and do you know something, it's to me personally, it's an underused colour. I'll say it that way. I think it's gorgeous because you already have that effect in there of a red and a brown. So, you know, if you are, let me just grab a stencil maybe. I am literally just going to make a mess. Intentionally as well, I might add. It's not sort of, oh, what you're doing. I am making a mess. And I'm just going to start gliding little bits here and there, just so I can sort of take it in or take it out or blend it off. I don't know. That's the sort of mood I'm in. And when you're sort of in a creative mood, I've obviously had, I've been eased back into work, which is great. So for me now, adjusting is something I've got to have in my head as well, you know, in that respect. So for me, this is great. So again, you know, with everything going on in my head in different ways, different formats, different God knows what that's going on in there, it's nice to sort of just have no expectations of what I'm going to create tonight, because you've all turned up. I've not advertised it intentionally as well, by the way. So thank you for taking the time to turn up tonight. That, you know, it really helps. it makes me decide what I am going to do in the future, if that makes sense. And, you know, you're all part of that, which is lovely. So on the aged mahogany, I've now got walnut stain. Gorgeousness, as you do. Now for me, I could quite easily have that up that way or turn it that way and add etc. I'm going to concentrate around this little area for now. And what I want to do is I'm just going to grab another stamp now. Let me, oh, I think I'll do this one actually. This was what I used earlier. Now this is 426. This writing here is so delicate, it's unbelievable. And for me, I'm thinking just to bring things together, because I want to try and complement things as we go with this. So it's like, you know, do I, yeah, well, why not? Let's use the oxide. Don't be shy, you know, let's not worry about, well, what's a complementary colour? Well, I'll use the colours we're using because it's the same colour. And, you know, as we go and start putting in layers, you lose things, just how Amanda showed us and how she actually brought everything together in a really different way. So for me, I'm not too worried if things sort of kiss here or not, or just make a mess. All I'm doing is putting a background on at the minute. But I love this writing. Beautiful. So let's get the brown on it. Walnut stain. Now, if I wanted to just put water over this, as you know, water, oxide, dream come true for me. Dream come true. So, again, you're probably not going to see any of this. So don't be too worried and make it too complicated for yourself and think to yourself, well, you know, I'm going to lose that because I've already done that there. I ain't worried. You don't be worried. I'm not worried. I'll get a brush and I'm going to blend it around, move it in, lose it if I need to, because you won't see any of this later. It'll go, we've got a little fly, just in case you think it's a fairy orb floating by. It was a fly. There you go. Just wanted to let you know that. Right, so here, down here, the busyness that we've got going, beautiful. Let's get the old squirty dirt out. Let's start to put a little bit of an effect in, just down this bit down here. So the water squirter, I've not gone full hog. So I've done it so it's giving me those lovely blobs of niceness. And it's moving my oxide around beautifully, as you can see. Now, I can dry it off. Let's have a blast. Blasty blue blue. Let's move it around. Lose that, you're stuck on my... Oh, bless you. I love it. I have to set myself on my clock to think to myself, if I don't put an alarm on, I forget I do a live sometimes. So it's not intentional. If ever I do miss, it's literally my brain's gone, Lise, what you're supposed to be doing? Oh, I'm supposed to be doing a live. Whoops. That has happened, trust me. Right, I'm just going to blast that off a bit more. Oh, hello. Ooh, I had a power surge then, I'm sure. Well, it wouldn't be a power surge. There we go. Right, let me just dab a little bit off there. Dab a bit there. Perfect. Okay, so as I'm looking at that now, and I'm just hoping that this screen is actually going to play ball with me. But can you just, I mean, for me, that is just yumminess in a go. You know, the way these two colours have gone together, aged mahogany and walnut stain with the water, with the stamps, it's just blended beautifully. And then if you wanted to like put down some circles so it looks orby, so it looks high-end paper wise, go for it. You know, don't be shy, don't think that's it, you know. So all we're doing at the minute is just playing with oxides. There's no textured paste, there's no other products. This is just bog standard oxides, and just look at that. It's stunning in its own little way. So let me just get another, let me get these. I love this. This is one of my favourites. I've only just recently had this, 56 on the stencils. And obviously it's a full stencil, but there's a half one as well. And that's what got me to buy the full stencil. I had the half one in a set. And it was just like lushness. I absolutely loved it. Now, if you want to start to build up, I'm going to put a bit of green in this. Now, I'm going to put... just a bit down on there. Oh, that might need a bit of re-inking. Let me just put a bit of wet on, and I'm just going to see what I can pick up. I ain't too worried. I don't care, to be fair. You know me. and it's all on the back. So I'm just going to go around a little bit more just to make sure I've got plenty of gunge on there. And I'm going to put that down on there just so it keeps it still. And then I'm just going to just see what I can get there. And I'm just, maybe a little bit of water, maybe. What do you reckon? Why not? Let's just have a little wiggle around. Don't be too worried about things, you know, let it happen, because I don't know what's going to happen. It's just going to, is it going to be a mess? Oh, I like it. Why not? Let's just put another bit over here. And this is what I love when you start playing around with your products. This is why I've not done anything to say, well, this is what we're making tonight. I don't know what I'm making. I was just inspired, like all you guys was. I've seen all your comments on Amanda's beautiful page. Even myself. Stunning, you know. So it's inspired me for tonight. So let me dry this off. I'm going to add some more green into this, as you do. But let me just blow some of this around, move it into those lovely browns, the mahogany, gorgeous. And just having that bit of water on, you can't really even see the stencil now, which is great. So I'm just going to just dab off a little bit. And now look how that's starting to take an effect. Now, if you wanted to have a background colour, the background colour I would have I'm using walnut stain and aged mahogany at the minute, and I've just introduced peel paint. But if you wanted to put a back colour to start with, I'd say used antique linen or old paper. Those are usually my two go-tos. So yes, aged mahogany and walnut stain is what I've used at the minute, and I'm just bringing in a bit of peel paint. Okay, so I'm just going to get my green brush, and all I'm going to do is just put a little bit here and there, maybe just some taking away those white spaces. I am going to leave some white space, not a great deal, but I'm just going to leave a little bit, because to me now this is actually starting to take shape of something. And I don't want to overdo, you're very welcome, I don't want to overdo the colour mix. But you see, I love the way that the aged mahogany has gone into this green. So I'm just going to turn it around. Now, I've just seen a little wet spot there. So just try and keep it dry as you go, because we're still using oxides at the minute. I haven't put a mound of anything else on. And I am actually going to pop this down, but I'm going to get the aged mahogany, only a smidgen, not a lot. And I'm just going to I'm going to do a corner. Now, you just don't realise just how potent that is actually on your brush. Now, these are the Tracy Evans brushes, lovely and soft. But my goodness me, you know, as you start playing around with these things, you think to yourself, wow, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there. The more layers you've got, because if you do add a little bit of water, that's where you're going to see the difference. Now, you might not see there's a lot there, but it's just giving us that kiss of something. And I quite like what we've got coming up to there as well. So now, obviously, we've got the green in. So let's put the green over there. So that's 3 colours. Let's do a spritz of water on. Let's turn it around a minute. We've put a bit down here, a bit there. There you go. That'll do for me. Let it do its thing. Don't be so quick to pull it off. Let it mix, let it play. You know, I wouldn't say move it around. Maybe a little dab, maybe. A little bit here, a little bit there. It just changes the paper. That's all it does. And that, to me now, I think that's divine. You might not. You might want to add, but we will add. Don't worry. So I'm just going to dry this off. There we go. Beautiful. I love how that stencil's gone up here with the colour. Absolutely fabulous. In fact, let me pull that off here and just give it a blast, because I can see then how that goes. Yeah, there we go. Right, so there's that now. Now, I think that's absolutely gorgeous here. So what do I want to do now? Maybe some textured paste. So there's a lot. So we've got, I'm actually going to put some of the crackle paste on, because for one, it dries really quick and it'll give me that crackle effect. And then when I'm using the other products that I want to put on, it's going to go through and you are going to be able to see, let me just see, which one was it? This one. You're going to see those lovely little cracks and creases, just to give you an effect. So stencil wise, I am going to, as I was inspired by Amanda. I'm going to do a bit of flourish and a bit of the circle one, which complements what I've already put down. Now, I love this because you can sort of get a mix of the two. Now, I love that flourish part, so I want it roughly where it's more of a darker area. So I'm going to pop it there, and I'm going to pop on just with a little palette knife. Now, I'm not going to put loads and loads and loads on. I'm going to put enough on, so for one, I've got a little bit of texture running down, and I'm literally going to try and do as smooth and as thin as I possibly can. And that's just for me being able to, and I want it now, yeah? You all understand that, don't you? So, there we go. That's that little bit there, yeah? And then, or maybe I'm just going to do a little bit here just to complement, yeah? So I'm not too worried about what's behind it. I'm just going to bang it on. I'm not worried if it looks a bit messy in places. Don't care. And I've just slid my knife right under. So I dread to think what's gone under that way now. Isn't that fabulous? How many people has that happened to, I wonder? I'm forever doing some sort of daftness, trust me. Right, let's just bring that up. Perfect. Now, I'm not too worried about bits and bobs, but, you know, if you just want to have a little bit of something and you've sort of run out of space, or, you know, I'm just going to put that there, for instance. Now, I'm just going to scrape that up, because before I'm not going to waste, but I'm not going to put it back into the pot. So, first thing I'm going to do is put my lid on. Saves anything else diving in there. But I am going to have a look now and just think maybe just some little touches here and there, or even with my finger, to be fair. I'm going to do it with my finger. Why not? There we go. Wouldn't be me if I wasn't getting completely a mess. And I am going to just bring just some little, and I am literally just going to touch here and there just to get this off, basically. And I'm not too worried how it's going to look or the overall effect. It's just to put some texture down, because I've got all that beautiful bump there, but I need some up here, really, just to sort of bring it together in its own way. Yeah. And when it dries, don't forget it's going to crackle. So while I'm actually going to wait for this to do its thing, let me get a tissue. Where's my tissues gone? There we go. Let's grab a couple out. There we are. Right. While I'm waiting for that to dry, and I'm going to give it a little blast and then another blast, but I'm going to just spray just some other things and just have a little play while I'm waiting for this, because I do want to finish this off for you guys tonight. But I can't say it enough for you lot. Just play and be adventurous. I had no idea what I was going to create tonight. All I know was I was inspired. And as long as you're inspired, you will create something, because you've got to get that out, you know, whatever it is that you've just had in your belly, that fire, that sort of, wow, look, you know, we were all of us were all the same. We're all watching it going, wow, that's stunning, beautiful. And, you know, I know the vast majority was, wow, you know, it looked stunning, and I just had to have a play today. Simple as that. So I'm just going to give it a little blast. And plus it's Sissy Couriers. She's amazing. So let's just give it a little blast. So you can see that obviously I'm not cooking it. I don't want it to bubble. But I do want it to crack, crease, and do what it's supposed to do. Yeah? So I'm just gently wiggling it around nice and quickly. I'm not staying on one, because I don't want it to bubble. I don't want it to sort of give me a problem, basically. But I do want it to dry. So there we go. I'm going to let this dry. I'm just going to put that over here under its own devices. Bless this little cotton. You'll see it there in the corner. It'll still be there. You can watch it. Yes, very antique-y. If you really want to go antique-y, then use antique linen, because that will be like, bam, beautiful. Right then, so as I said, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I've done these earlier just with some old textured paste that I personally had got. Now, let me just run before this dries, because when you're using textured paste, clean your stuff as quickly as possible, because otherwise, don't you ruining your stencils, because everything costs pennies. and they're not cheap, you know. So there we go. Let's just do that. So this should get you all in the creative mood for whatever TV channel you're watching tomorrow. I won't be, because I'm off on an adventure to see Sissy. So that's going to be good fun. So I'm just going to put that over there now. There we go. Right, so what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I want something, again, maybe grungy, antique-esque. Now, this was my old bottle. There's my new one, right? So I put a little bit of water in this just to get out whatever dregs were left in there, because I'm all about saving as much as I can, because I'm just such a terrible person. Everything's got to be rinsed and reused. So it's like, is it going to work? Is it going to give me? Oh, it is, yeah. Oh, hello. Wow. Okay, so now let's just drown it. I tell you what, that just works still like it's new. I even brought that just in case it didn't work. Oh, look at the lushness there. So let me just do a little bit of a squirt around. And again, you can let it dribble, you can let it do whatever you like. You can dry it like that. Do whatever you... I love Salvage patina. In fact, I love it that much, I want to put on some peacock feathers. Missed you, it's alright, Alison, don't worry. There's lots going on at the minute. There's lots of people, lots of programs, lots of all sorts of stuff going on at the minute. It's fabulous out there in the world. I love it. What am I going to put on there? Let's have a look. Seedless preserve, maybe. Yeah, why not? Gosh, why not? Hey, why not? Why the devil? And oh gosh, go on then. Fossilised amber. Twisted my arm. It did. Twisted my arm. Just fell into my hand. That did. Honestly, it's so demanding. There we go. Now, going off that, I've even got that little bit of lushness there just to play around with if I want. Perfect. But don't be shy. Make a mess. Let it run off. Let it do its thing. Let it really, really, really make a mess. Because to me now, gosh, look at the colours on that. Can you just imagine what you can build on that now? So we have a nice pool there of colour. Let me just little tiddy widdly widdly wid. Let me grab a bit of card. Yes, it's super smooth before you ask. Oh, look at that. Nice bit of mud. Love it. Mud can be used in many different ways. It can be used as a brilliant background. Trust me. In fact, I might show you if I've got time. So don't think, ooh, what on earth is that? You know, a bit like I sometimes do and think, oh, crumbs, what have I made there? A mess. But your messes can actually go into really cool designs. That, with a nice bit of green on, will go lovely for a really dramatic background. Let me just blast this off a little bit. So that's the mop-up. That's the second mop-up off that one there. And remember, I said it's just a gunky mess. This is going to make a lovely little card or a backing. Or just a start point, you know. So don't always be quick to think you've ruined something or it looks naff. So, I mean, that murky mess is brilliant because we can add different colours in. We can really bring the greens in if we want to, yeah? If you want to add more browns and a little bit of mahogany, add them, you know. So there's loads that you can put onto that. So to me, I won't throw that because for one, I love the movement on it and I can add onto it. So never throw your messes away now, especially if you've got a bit of textured paste, okay? So talking of our textured paste, let me just give this a little blast off. Look how that colour's just drawn to the edges, isn't it fabulous? So you saw what I put on, an absolute mixture of everything by the kitchen sink. But just look at the fun colours that we've actually got on there. Making mess of brilliant, aren't they? Honestly. Yeah, everything always works. One way or another, it really does pull together. So I'm going to get that to dry. Because I really have soaked this, I must admit. So while I'm letting this dry, I'm going to see if the other piece is now dry. So we'll come back to that, and I will put some nice gilding and maybe some perfect pearls on and stuff like that. So we will come back to that before the night is out and done. Let me just wipe over, because I don't want to transfer everything possibly, because there's no need, you know, no need at all. So let's just put colours and bits out the way over there. Right then, so here we are. My hands are filthy. Let me just get a tissue. Oh, there we go. Right, so obviously if you're adding things with your fingers and stuff like that, just make sure your hands are clean. Let me do it off the screen just so it's a little bit easier for you guys and we're not twitching and working around and whatnot. There we go. So hands are cleanish. Let me get my little towel to dry them off. Go me and all that. Okay. So yes, we definitely got cricks and creases, and I'm just going to give it a little blast off. Back to work. Oh, fabulous. So fabulous. Enjoy. So I'm really drying this out now, and it's going beautifully. You can see all those lovely cracks of the creases and all the, oh, it's just lush. Absolute lushness. Yeah. Happy with that. Okay, so I just want to bring this up a bit closer. You can actually see now that obviously using the opaque crackle, the textured paste, is, for one, I've obviously got the texture on here, but for two, the crackle that I've got going through, and anything I put over this now is obviously going to come through and just be a little bit more in your face, which is fabulous. Now, I really like how this looks, so for me, I could quite easily leave it, but for the instance for you guys, I'm going to add some more colours. Now I've got Rusty Hinge and I've got Lumberjack. Now, Rusty Hinge, I'm going to put a little bit in places to bring out the brown. So again, I'm not going to go too OTT, but I am going to start, maybe even go over some of the textured paste. Maybe. I just want to sort of bring in little bits. I quite like the way how the aged mahogany, the greens, the browns, how it all sort of blends together beautifully. And just remember, you can wipe this off. You've got your resist there, so it's not something that you think to yourself, oh, I've just lost that lovely colour, you know. You can buff it over. You can take it away. That will actually just keep, you know, if there's liquid format, it'll actually go into your little cricks and creases if that's the case. But to me, just adding that little bit of richness here and there, just through that backdrop of the paper, is brilliant. And I'm just going to get this light darker red, just a smidgen. You know, if we're going to go rusty and like really grungy and gunky, you need a little bit of red in there with the browns. Just to play the game, really. Why ever not? Why ever not? So let's just put a bit of that up here. Yeah, why not? So I'm just kissing the page with those particular colours. And again, it's just changed the look of it a little bit. Not too much. I'm just going to change the look of it a little bit. Not too much. Yeah. And I'm just going to rub over. So you can hear that texture. It's not going to come off. The only thing that's coming off is the oxide that you've put over it. And all you can see here is just where I've added that water to allow me those splash marks. The water marks, as you can see there. If you don't like them, we get the tissue and we pull them off. Yeah? So, a little bit there. Let me just grab my tissue again. There we go. Right, so the trick now is making sure like we've just got layer upon layer upon layer. So next, what we're going to use, we've got perfect pearls and we've got the waxes. Now, the waxes, gorgeousness, gorgeousness, gorgeousness. Now, Sissy used the sterling and other bits and bobs. So I'm actually going to put on Mind, which is this sort of coppery sort of colour, which is going to complement sort of these areas here. Maybe statue, maybe. The gilded is obviously the gold, which would complement the green sort of part of it. But then I also can put in the green and the pertwee sort of colour if I want to tone it down and really go into a grungy with the perfect pearls. So the first thing I'm going to do is put on some of this. Now, there's different ways for this. And again, you do your way. First of all, I want to hear the ball shaking around. Don't worry, there's no such thing as light to the pot. I didn't advertise it. It was just like, hi, let's see who turns up. So I appreciate you guys turning up. Don't forget your thumbs up though, if you would. That would be really kind of you. Now, you can put it on here if you want to. And you can dab your finger in, yeah. And let's have a look. We can put a little bit around here. You can move it around. And just as Man says, it goes like a powder. Now, if you're really brave and you like to cause a mess, you can do what Lisa does and just go on and puff it on and like plonk it on and really like, you know, wah. Now, what I do love about this is, let me put the lid on because I don't want it out while I'm doing this, but when you've put a nice good, you can see that there, when you get the heat to it, it liquefies and gives you that So, not too much, you'll see it go quite quick. And there you go, it's just starting to go. See how it goes? Love it. And I'm just going to follow it along. There you go, that'll do. So for me now, when you look, you've got that beautiful sort of glaze and it just heats up. And so I'm going to add some more on as I go. So as it sort of builds up the texture, it will build up all these different bits of lushness as we go. So I'm just going to rub in here. Now what I have noticed with this is if you've got a blob, let me put a blob on for instance, yeah, and you leave it there and you forget about it and all the rest of it, it will go, if you heat it up, it will go to liquid and you can move it around again. So if for instance you do an accident and you think, ooh, there are ways out of it, so you can let it go to liquid as it's going now to liquid, and I can allow that now to move down the page, yeah. So there are ways for you to play around with this stuff. You haven't got a time limit on it, so it literally is a case of be quick if that's what you want to do. And again, you can get your tissue, you can buff it up, or you can leave it just where it's melted. Now, when you've got that sort of buff, when you've melted the wax, you can go in, I'm going to go in with statue. And all I'm going to do now is like literally just put a bit on top of that. And I am just going to melt that on top. So it melts, it goes, and then you get that gorgeous silver shimmer. So this is where knowing what your product's going to do and play around with it. And if you want to add it into different things, do that, yeah. Obviously it's hot, it's wet, just be mindful, yeah, otherwise you'll do what Lisa does and burn your finger. So I'm going to add some more over here. I'm going to rub it in a little bit, not too much, but just so you can see. Again, I'm just going to try and show you a little bit closer maybe. You add your heat, you can see it go, it's a bit like embossing powder when it turns really quick. There we go. And I'll probably say the most dramatic one is the silver, where it really does pop, you know, goes really off on tangent. Now, you can put a stencil down and run that through a stencil if you want. But again, it's one of those where you have to be quick. So it's got that beautiful sort of gold effect. Now, another effect, obviously, let me just see it. It's dry up there, yeah. So let me get that beautiful stamp again. And Versamark. Yeah, afraid so. Beautiful, bless ya, love ya. You can go over with your Versamark. Now I really I'm not one for wording and stuff like that, but this wording is really beautiful. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it here, yep. And I'm not too worried if I get all of this lettering or if I don't. It makes no difference to me. Not one bit at all. So that's that done and dusted. So I've gone in two places there. This area here, I'm going to go in with, what is this? Heirloom Gold. Because I think the gold would complement those beautiful reds and stuff. And then this here, I'm going to go in with the green. Now, there is a brush with this. It's very soft. Bit like my brain cell at the minute. And, you know, when you just got to remember where you've put it. There you go. Found it. It's gone on beautifully. Now, I ain't too worried about this stuff. I'm quite happy to whirl it around but it's not going to stick to anything if there's nothing there for it to stick to. So be mindful. That's why you're either going to put a bit of glue down, a bit of UV down, yeah, a bit of resin, even a bit of glue, you know. But if you are obviously going over, you know, with writing, etc., you know, your Versa's your best bet. But to be fair, if you've got wet ink, it'll go over. Might smudge a bit, but again, it'll go over. So, blah, blah, blah. So as you can see there, I've got those two lovely little bits of, you know, that pearls. It has given such a beautiful shimmery effect. And these you can use, like I've just said, on so many different things if that's what you want to do. Again, you can get your embossing, you know, get your dabber down, pop it down. For instance, let's have a, let's just see, have I got any, is there anybody there? Hello? Let's have a, you know, you don't think, no, let's have a look. So let me see if anything's coming out. I'm going to put a bit of, no, I'm going to put a bit of green there because there's green. Let's see if it's actually, no, oh, it's there. Hold on. Play with your dauber lace. Oh dear me. Now I can just kiss over areas if I want to with that stencil. So I am just going to literally just do a little bit here and there. And that's good for that. It will be good to wreck your sponge as well, but it doesn't matter. I'll play the game with that one. There we go. Right, so I'm quite liking the effect of the green. Now, you haven't got to have this here, there and everywhere. If you don't want the shimmer, don't put it on. But, you know, if you want to change the look of something and you want to give it a little bit more of an aged feel, your pearls will actually do that for you. And if you really want to sort of go down the really aged look, then you can sort of really go for your patinas and stuff like that. So, let me just... You can even put on your glazes. Your glazes will look absolutely astounding with this, to be fair. So, for me, let's see if this is going to work a bit better than what it did. Let's have a look. Ah, it's coming out now. Perfect. So, if I wanted to go over here, let me just, a little bit here and there, maybe. So, if I wanted this to be a little bit darker, like a poetry sort of colour, which is like your dark silver, that aged look, yeah? I can tap off. Don't go in too deep, too dark. And again, this is just another way to show you how to do something quickly. Yeah. My poor brush, bless it. You know when you get things that come with stuff and it's like, really? But I'm using what it came with. So what I want to do now is buff that up. So let's see, I will use that. And because you've got your effect on there, if you don't like it, there's no hardship because we can squirt something over it. We can put water on. Yeah, you can move things around. All you got to do is let it work, let it do its magic. Dab it off nice and gently. And no damage is done then. But I must admit, when you actually start looking at the different depth that you can get, stunning. So if I was going to finish this off, which I like the golds, I like that. I've just got to dry that off. I'm going to put something up here and then I'm going to go on to that mad one that we just done. Let me just dry this water off quickly. There we go. So that is nice and quickly done. Up here, let me just move these out of the way. Do I want some salvage patina in? Do I? Yes, maybe. Let me get a bit of a stencil up. Let's put something in the corner. So if I wanted to darken it out, let's get the brown. Right, let's grab that walnut stain. And I am just going to lightly just kiss, only a light bit. I'm going to take that off in a minute. So I'm going to blend it in. I'm going to take off what's on there. So you've put it down because we've got all the products under there. It will actually move and come off, but leave you the most lightest stencil mark so it looks even more aged. I mean, you can start curling things around if you want to. You can bend them. You can grab them. You can do whatever you like, realistically. Yep. It's all about just playing around with what you've got, yeah? I mean, if you want to, yes, you've got texture paste on there, but don't be shy to give it a little bit more texture. You know, it's a good product. Nothing's going to fall off unless you use cheap products. If you use cheap products, you're in the hands of the gods, as the saying goes. Yeah? You know what I mean, yeah? So, there we go. So I've definitely given that an age look. Now, if you want to do that, oh, I've even ripped it. Go me. Oh, I don't know my own strength. Now, for me, I love that. And if I wanted to just buff over and just bring out those creases a little bit more, I can do. Yeah. Or I can go out and put on any of the waxes. I can put on some of the pearls if I wanted to. But I really like that. So if I was going to use that, maybe put some sentiments on or even cut it up. Could have 2 cards there, couldn't I? So that's that one. So that gives you a bit of an idea with some gorgeous texture, some grunge, some oomph. 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 What's oomph? Dear, dear, dear. I'm making these up as I go along, ain't I? Now this is gorgeous. This needs a little bit more of a dry. It still feels wet. So let me just quickly give it a blast. I thought this would be well and truly dry by now, but it's not. Yeah, fabulous book cover, definitely. Definitely. In fact, that would actually be perfect for a book cover, wouldn't it just? So, you know, like how Amanda had that beautiful journal page, you could do this similar effect either on the front cover or even in the journal, complimentary, because you could take that off and then put complimentary stamps, etc. in there. You know, you could do so much, so much, so much, so much. Right, so let's go back to the rainbow of oomph. Now, there's a lot of patina in here. So if there's a lot of patina, we can play. So I have got, what's this one? Blue patina? What's that, a rive patina? I don't know. Blue patina, yes. Goodness me, Lisa and his glasses. And I reckon the silver would go boom on here with that. So those would be the ones I'm going to play around with. Do I want to put some texture on? Do I want to put some gumph and oomph and stuff on? Yes, I do. So I've already got on there. So I am literally going to put my finger in. Not that much, maybe, a little less. And I'm just going to touch over. Now, this is the crackle. So at the end of the day, I was being ever so nice then, wasn't I? Oh, dear me. It's all right, I'll hurt you. I just want to be able to have some, there's like some wetness in here for me to actually put down maybe some glitters and actually give it a really good play. So I don't want it to go too quick because I do want to put on some rock candy. So this is your rock candy, which makes things look like sugar. Now, it might not have been wet enough. I will tell you in a second. Let me get a piece of paper underneath there before the disaster of Lisa starts. And it does happen very easily. Now, let me see if... Yay, okay. So, tap, tap. So, it's gone in places, not in everywhere, which is fine. So, let me put that down there like so. Yeah. And what I'm going to do again here now, you can use your embossing dabber. Let's see if that's going to work for me. So I can see that I've got a little bit of something going on there. Let's see if that's going to work. May as well. Try it all while we're here, because then you can't turn around and say, Lise, will that work? And I'll go, yeah, it works. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Does it work? Yeah, there we go. Let's have a look. Well, yeah, it's holding it. So look at how shimmery that. Now, I'm not going to pat it down. I'm not going to do, I listen to what the man himself says. Leave it there, because the way the light hits all those little shimmery bits and prettiness, that's what gives you all that lovely glitter that we can see. Now, if I wanted to now build up down here, for instance, and I'm just going to just put, for the sake of it now, I'm going to put that on quite heavy, just so it's not going to dry instantly for me, because that seems to be the thing with me. It's just going to dry and it's like, oh, Lise, what are you doing? So I'm just going to put a little bit on there, a little bit of a smidgen and a blob, and wipe my finger. And then I'm going to get snowflake. Now the snowflakes are literally, oh, I'm just going to put it on first, as you do. I'm going to be generous. I mean, just look at that. Just look at that. I'm just excited for the sake of it. I'm easily pleased. I am honestly easily pleased. But in there, you've got flakes, and then you've got twinkle, and it's like, it literally is everything just yummy, yummy, yummy. So I'm going to just tap it gently, and I'm happy with how bits are hanging over. If not, pop them over. And if you want it all prim and proper, just pop it in, but allow it to do what it needs to do, and that's just dry. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to put all this back into there before I end up sneezing or, you know, God knows what, especially with me, you never know. So that all goes back in there. Hopefully I haven't got any alien bits and pieces in there. If I have, so add to it all. But that's your snowflakes and your rock candy. Both are available from Tracy Evans. Super, super fast delivery. I've never known delivery like it, if I'm honest, but fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So let's put that there. Now, let me just help this along a little bit, and a bit of a blast of drying, just to dry this off, because I want to put on some alcohol inks. So obviously whatever's loose will fly off. Let me hold it up. And whatever's dry will stay put. There you go. See the odd little bit here and there fly off, which is fine. Now, because I've got textured paste on there and I've got products on here now, which are nearly dry, I'm just going to show up here, before I start putting this beautiful stuff on, just what you can do with alcohol inks. And I've got pinks and stuff up there. And let me see what I've got in here. Cosmopolitan, raspberry, what's this one? No, we won't use that. So alcohol inks, I've got raspberry and cosmopolitan. That looks very baby pink sort of thing. Little shake, rattle and roll. I'm just going to come down here a minute, and where you've got that glisten, and you've actually got, I'm literally, I just love these effects. It's just absolutely stunning, fabulous. I'm just going to bring it down here. Now there isn't any on here, but I'm just for the sake of it now, because I just love the way these move. Even though we're not on Yupo paper or any sort of paper as such, there is a coat underneath there which is allowing this to sort of do what it's going to do. So this will work with any colours that you're using. Obviously I've got those on for now, but you can use your ISO. I've got my alcohol blending, and I'm just going to put a smidgen on. Whoop, there we go. And yes, it'll move around, and yes, you can get your puffer and you can move it about a bit. You can do your little bit, but it just shows you that it's not always about you've got to have this paper, that paper. If you've got the product down, it will move around on that product. Now this colour down here, let me see if I've got something to that colour. Dijon, oh, dandelion. This is supposed to be, I haven't used this one yet. Dandelion is all about pop. So now this is where we've got, oh, look at this, look at this. We have actually got the snowflakes down here, and look how that's, now I have actually pulled a bit off. It doesn't matter, I don't care, because I just love the colour. I'm going to bring it up here. I'm going to bring it up. Why ever not? Well, why not? Let me just wipe that off. I don't want bits of that on there. But I'm going to put on now my alcohol blend solution here. And I am actually going to just get my puffer and just move this around, because while it's there, it will move until it's dry. So don't be shy to sort of play around with this. And obviously, if you have problems with your breathing and stuff like that, please be mindful. You know, I don't want anybody to have any sort of health issues or anything like that. But look how that is now blended into that. Now, if I wanted to then put on blues, etc., and I'll tell you what. See, I'm off on a tangent now. Juniper, Bayou. Oh, God, I just love this colour. This Bayou is amazing. I have made a vintage one. and following along. Oh, I have got a fab result. Go on, Susan. I can't wait to see. Yes, perfect. But you see, when you've got these textured products under, and you add, obviously you've got the yes, what's it called, rock candy, and you've got all the other products. The actual, yes, it colours it in, but you can still create with it. You know, you can still move things along, and you can still move the colours, because we've got the crackle paste on there, and it's still, look at that, it's just blending beautifully. So for me, it really is all about being bold and having a go. I mean, I don't mind with little bits flying off here and there, but that just proves to you, look at that, it's very much like you know, like scales of fish. I know it's not, but you know, with that lovely sea ones that have been done, there's so much you could do with that. It's like, oh yes, let's have a play. So let's have, actually, let me put all my gilding stuff on here now. Let me get the alcoholics out of the way, because before you know it, I'll be doing something else. I'll be going off totally on tangent, which is no fun to anybody. So let's put them out of the way. Let's put that there, hold that out of the way. So let's get this lovely stuff. Right, let's put this over here. So I am going to bring it all together. So the pink and the yellow was like, oh, crumbs, what am I doing, Lise, you know? But I'm actually going to put a little bit of bits on here now. And I am going to just run it along, move it along, bring it together, just in different ways. And I'm not too mindful now about, oh, it's gone over this and I've lost that. I'm just playing and showing you now. I do, however, like what we've got down here. So again, I'm just going to play around, show you a different effect. Yeah. So that's quite harsh there now, where we've got that softness, where it's very, very soft. So I'm going to get the heat on it. And obviously with the wax will melt and it will change the silver, which I'll show you now. You'll see it as we go. So as the heat hits it, it will go to liquid and change. And I just find it absolutely fascinating, like an embossing powder. It's lovely. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So I'm just going to go down here, make sure all that's dry. There we go. Now with the blue down here, nope. I am going to put a bit more silver on. Why not? Just going to be around it. Just so I don't want it all one-sided sort of thing. I hope that makes sense. Just going to buff it over a little bit in places. Now you do as much as you want to do, and that could mean that you only want the smallest part. You might just think to yourself, well, I'm covered, sod it, let's do the whole shebang. You do what you want to do, you know, because at the end of the day, when you look at it, you'll see different things. So again, I'm just going to see it's turning, see it's doing that beautiful silvery, shimmery gorgeousness. There we go. So you can whack a nice sentiment on that now, put a hole in it, take the edges off, and you've got a beautiful tag. Or you've got a panel for something else. Let's have a look, for instance. I don't know. So black would go well on that for it. I mean, that would pop it lovely. Cut it down. There you go. You could make that onto a black card quite easily. For me, personally, that's the one. You know, but I like the way this has come out. This needs... I just wanted to show you that you can add your alcohol inks to cards without using Yupo paper or coated paper. You put your product down and it will go on it, you know. It will literally... Let me just very, very quickly... we'll use the texture paper, the opaque. Then again, this is in Tracy's shop. A stall, whatever you want to call it. You can see what I'm doing. Not contaminated by any colour or anything. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, bye, Amanda, enjoy. Oh, bye, man. Bye, City Pars. Oh, whoever. Time to go. I have new... Oh, get away. You have new stamps to play with. Yes, I know. Send me pictures, Sissy Poos. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Right, so just for this now, we've put on the opaque crackle. This is fabulous. So let me just dry this off quickly. Let me move them over there. Let's get myself a little space here. Let's see myself breathe a minute. Right. Let's dry this off. So just black card. It is super smooth, true black. And I'm just going to go over it nice and quickly to dry it off. Remember front and back when you're drying, especially if your card curls. To uncurl it, you'll turn it over, as you can see, and it'll flatten itself out. Pick it up, hold it, don't be shy. So, what have I got? I have got a little bit, not too much, and I'm not too worried. All I wanted was the actual cover. That's all I want. Now, the best thing with this, it's movable, it doesn't crack, it doesn't crease, it moves with the paper. Beautiful stuff. Now, alcohol inks. I have no special paper down, as you've clearly just seen. And I'll tell you what, let's just do something that's going to pop your head. Let's do them and that. There we go. Right, so neon colours. Beautiful. It's got to be done with black, hasn't it, really? So let's have a look. Because I don't want it to roll off the card. So I'm going to try and flatten it as much as I can. A little shake, just for the sake of it. Shake, rattle and roll. Now with this, when it dries, you can't buff it up and stuff like that. It's just going to be dry, done, dusted, because it will go quite powdery. But I just want to show you that no matter what, if you play around with your products, you'll actually learn that your products can do so much more than you think. So don't think you've got to have Yupo paper to make pretty designs, coated paper and stuff like that. It does help, but you know when you've run out or you're waiting for an order and you want a quick play. So this is the alcohol blending solution. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to keep that in shot. I'm going to get my blower. And I'm going to put some more on. And I'm going to play around with it a bit more. Yeah. So again, don't be shy. Because it just really does prove that you can still play around and get some really, really good designs. I should really get me proper blower on it, but it don't matter. We've got product, let's play. Now to complement with them colours, I'm just going to quickly grab what we're going to do. Lagoon. Why not? Oh, there we go. Just one blob. Little bit of that. Move it around. And do you get it? Do you get the gist? Yeah? You can really play around with the products. Just have a play. So I can quite easily use this now and just really add onto this. I can add the waxes onto it. I can add oxides onto it. You know, this can dry off. Let's put a bit of this on. Bit of that around it. Let's put it around here, say for instance. Why not? Put it over there. Let's put it around. I'm just showing that at the end of the day, you can see how that's going there. Look at that, beautiful. I just love the way it changes, just like an embossing powder. Obviously we've got the neons there, but when you so I mean, look at that, just look at that. Oh, it's just gorgeous. So if you've got cogs, if you've got little bits of dampness, if you've got little bits of areas where you want to put a stencil through it, play around. Go on, enjoy yourself. See you later, darling. See you later. But what I want you to do is really sort of look at the different. I just showed you that. That's just like over there at the way sort of thing. Tonight's makes. There we go. That's the pretty one. Yeah. But it just shows you just the different things that you can do with the products that you've got. You just got to think outside the box and have a play. So I'm hoping that this has inspired you to, I don't know, get all sorts of bits and pieces out. Go and dig in the rafters. I bet you any money you've got a bit of textured paste, and you've got most of these products that I've used tonight, yeah? So go and get them out. Go and have a play. Go and make a little bit of oldie whirly paper, you know. Play, 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 you know, and that's what it's all about. Because when you've got this beautiful texture and the crackle, and then you've got the mix of the water and the glazes, and you have just got so much lushness there. You know, you could cut that off and just have that if you wanted to as a backing. Or then you've got the whole thing to then put a stamp on and actually create. I'm probably going to stamp onto this and make something of it. What? I don't know. But I just love it as it is. So I'm going to post this as it is. And then just so you can all know then and refer back to it. But I will actually bring this into something and make something with it. So I am going to love and leave you for tonight. Please go and have a mess, have a play. Look, look, look. Just go and do it. Honestly, you'll learn loads from it. And it'll probably be one of the best things that you've done. Because the techniques that you'll learn from just putting down and making a mess, you can then take onto those projects where you really want to put them into the projects and really play around with. And that's how I've learned, by making a lot of mistakes and just putting it together and just thinking, wow, I like that. I'm going to take that onto something else. But things like this, look at them and just think, oh yes, I can do that. Have yourself a little test piece, yeah, to do that piece. So if you're unsure how the colours look together, have yourself a scrap piece of paper, put them on and play first. But you won't regret having a play around with those colours. So I'll just recap for you. It's walnut stain, a bit of lumberjack, rusty hinge, bit of peeled paint for the sake of it. And the jewel in the crown is aged mahogany. It really, really brings the colours together. So enjoy, my sweeties. Thank you so very much for joining me. And I will see you very, very soon. When? I don't know. I'm going to have fun tomorrow with Sissy. So God knows what we're going to post tomorrow. You never know. I shall see you all soon. So love you all. And thank you, as always, for joining me. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now, people. Bye for now.